Big good one here, and eventually we will. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Comment below. Let me know your thoughts and opinions of this particular situation. So, The Boys Season 2 is apparently getting review bombed over Amazon's release schedule. Uh, we're going to talk a little bit about this because I am frankly, I am disappointed that I can't just binge it. We got the first 3 episodes, and I kind of found them a bit underwhelming in comparison to the expectations I had for this season. Of course, the 3rd episode does pick up things near the end of it, but so far, just it gets you hyped enough to be like, oh man, I want to watch the next episode and see where the hell this is going, because that was pretty. That was just, man. So I'm very curious about where it's going, and this kind of format, giving us only 3 episodes and then ditching us, making us wait a week when we've had so little to view. We've had so little to view since this whole pandemic thing. We've had very little entertainment, and you could argue that if we got it all at once, then we'd be out of entertainment again. We'd be out of something enjoyable, but we could be rewatching those episodes and really discussing them passionately, getting all hyped up for the next season. So there's a positive and a negative in here, but apparently a lot of people are pretty pissed. In response to The Boys Season 2's weekly release format, fans of the show have left harsh Amazon reviews, demanding it return to the binge format. I really don't think you should be leaving harsh reviews that's not in relation to the content itself, to how well it's performing, how well the acting is, how well the production values are, and all that. I don't think you should be leaving harsh reviews that are just like demanding they return to the way you want it to be. It is, after all, their show, and they can really release it however they want to. They can withhold it altogether if they want to. Like, oh yeah? You mad about us not giving it to you all at once? You mad about us giving it to you every 1 episode every week? Well, guess what? Maybe we'll just give you 1 episode every month. Like, they could go further if they wanted to. So I'm gonna read a little bit about this and see what's going on. Popular action drama The Boys is currently facing waves of negative online reviews in response to the show's release schedule. The subversive superhero series based on the comics of the same name is currently in its 2nd season on Amazon Prime, and has until recently been universally praised for both its unique writing and its ability to adapt controversial plot points from the original series for a modern audience. That was well said. I gotta hand it to you. What makes season 2 of The Boys different from the first season is the way the episodes are being released. When the show premiered last summer, the entire first season was available all at once using the binge-watching format that Netflix has popularized. However, The Boys switched this year to a weekly release format more reminiscent of broadcast television networks. The first 3 episodes of Season 2 were made available this past Friday, and 1 new episode will release each week until October the 9th. Maybe that's why I felt like this season has been a little underwhelming in comparison to season 1, because season 1 you could watch it all in one setting, and while I don't remember if I watched all the episodes back to back in one solid setting, or if I watched half of them and then watched the other half. But I do feel like this season is a little bit underwhelming in comparison. But also, now that I'm familiar with the kind of content I'm getting and stuff, I'm not exactly blown away either. I've gotten kind of used to the stuff that they're capable of doing on here. The first 2 episodes, of season 2, I did find pretty underwhelming at Episode 3 left me hanging though, because it did pick up things. It's like, all right, we finally got to this point of stuff they've been talking about, and now I want to see how these two characters interact and respond to each other, particularly Homelander. I'm talking about Homelander and Stormfront. I want to see if they're going to get like buddy buddy. They're going to get buddy buddy, or they're going to really do some headbutting. I really want to see that, and hopefully he does not get too buddy buddy with her, because I mean they're both villains and they're both despicable people in different ways. But what she did in that last episode, I found that pretty god awful, and I know Homelander pretty much sacrificed that whole plane. So I don't know why I find what she did more god awful than some of the things he's done. But but it would be nice if we could watch it all in one setting. But I really doubt Amazon is going to be like, all right, let's just give it to them all at once, because they're demanding it of us. That they know you're not going to stop watching their show if they give it. So you really have no leverage here. You have no leverage because they know you're not going to stop watching their show if you're not getting it all at once like you want, demanding to get off all at once. Well, in order to make demands, you've got to have some kind of leverage. So let's read a little bit more, though. The weekly release format was once the standard for all television. Some fans of The Boys are upset enough about this to change, to leave scathing reviews of the series on Amazon. As of the time of this article, 49% of the Amazon reviews for Season 2 of The Boys give the show only 1 star, and the majority of these reviews are merely complaining about the weekly release format. This is 2020. We don't want staggered release of episodes, one reviewer says. Not sure what moron decided this would be a good idea, but it is the worst idea ever. Another one adds, one goes so far as to say, way to take the best thing about streaming and completely tanking it. It's unclear what effect these 1-star reviews will have on The Boys, or whether Amazon will respond to them in any way. There's a very vocal group of people devoted to the idea that staggered episodes are a terrible idea. However, past precedent I just can't talk to. This was the case with Disney Plus's The Mandalorian last fall, which released 1 episode per week and still managed to gain massive popularity on social media for several months. Compare this to something like Netflix Umbrella Academy, which was released in the binge format and was the center of media attention for only a few weeks. They do have an incredibly strong point here, because I thought the Umbrella Academy Season 2 was pretty damn good, especially in comparison to Season 1. But at the same time, I'm not thinking about it all the time. It's not on my brain. It's not something I'm talking about regularly. So to do it all, release it all in binge format, it does make it somewhat forgettable. People will feel like they're waiting much much longer for the return of the show, and some people may decide, you know what, I'm not even going to come back, because things are different, circumstances are different, and I just lost interest. So I can understand doing it this way. I can clearly understand doing it this way. And I also have to say that you shouldn't be leaving reviews if you're just upset about the format of the episodes, the way they release it. You shouldn't be leaving bad reviews that would... the reviews need to criticize the content that you're actually viewing, not the way they release the content. With that said, though, given these examples, it seems that the concerns of angry Amazon reviewers are mostly unfounded. The new release of format for The Boys will likely actually increase the show's longevity. I actually agree with that. Even though I don't like it, I would rather binge this all at once. I actually agree with this because they're right. They're right. If you do it one episode every week, it's going to be on everybody's minds. People are going to talk about it more and for a longer duration. And when it finally finish releasing all these episodes, they could be pretty far along into getting season 3 all done and wrapped up, and it'll feel like you're getting to season 3 faster than you would have if they just gave it to you all at once. Anyways, I hope that makes some kind of sense there. But it's also important to remember that these one-star reviews don't come from people who hate the series. These are fans who are so ridiculously excited to watch this show that they became upset when they learned they had to wait for more. What that means is that people really genuinely love The Boys, which it is, in a strange way, the best news this show could receive. But you could also hurt it by leaving negative reviews. Leaving a bunch of negative reviews on it, you could hurt the future of the show. So keep that in mind. I just think that this is pretty interesting, and it's good. I'm curious, what are people's thoughts on The Boys Season 2 so far? I have the review up of the first 3 episodes on my second channel, Strand of Fate Reviews. I'll leave a link to that video in the end screen, but I'm curious about what people's thoughts and stuff are so far on Season 2, because I kind of find it underwhelming so far. It's not, maybe I had expectations that were too high. I've made videos talking about trash talking Eric Kripke for the stuff he talks about outside of The Boys. I've made videos on this channel talking about that stuff because he says some really ridiculous nonsense. And I just think, but I'm not letting that negatively impact my view of the show. I'm not letting that negatively impact my view of the show. My personal opinions about the creator. Anyways, big good one here. Eventually we will, like I said, leave comments down below about how you feel about Season 2 so far. And what do you think of it getting review bombed because people aren't getting it in binge format and they're instead getting it weekly release format? Very curious about your thoughts. Stay awesome. Rock on.